Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One.
Sadhu,
Sadhu.
sadhu.
Dear friends, last couple of days I was reading from the Udana Pali, and from Udana there is a one sutta. I'm going to explain it today. It's very simple, very short sutta. Our Supreme Buddha's dispensation or his teaching is divided into the 9 factors of Dhamma. So one of that is called Udana. So in Udana, there are a couple of suttas. It is a kind of spontaneous reply regarding certain what happened in that moment. It is explained there. So it's very small sutta. Just understand and enjoy this sutta. Okay. So this sutta name is called Yasojasutta. Yasojasutta. So it's very simple, very plain sutta. It doesn't have more explain to do, but the beauty of that, how the enlightened monk, how the monks, when they are practicing and when they are attained the result, the beauty of that we can learn it from here. So couple of things from this sutta we can take in our life, and with the time to time we can contemplate on that, and we can develop, or we can keep the steady practice of Dhamma. Sutta begins like this. Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savathyang viharati jetavane anathapindikasa arame. Thus I have heard on one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi, Jetavana, Jeta's park in Anathapindika's monastery. Tena khopana samayena Yasojapamukhani panchamatani bhikkhu savatting anupattani honti bhagavantang dassanaya. On one occasion, Yasoja Bhikkhu, the name monk called Yasoja, he was with 500 other monks visited Savatthi to worship or to visit Supreme Buddha, to look at him. Tedakhu agantuka bhikkhu nevasikehi bhikkhu hi saddhi patisammodamana senasanani panya payamana patta chivarani patisamayamana uchchasaddha mahasaddha ahesum. On that time, the new monks who was coming to this 500 monks with Yasoja who came to this monastery and who was residing in that monastery, these 2 monks, they had the cordial talk like, oh Bante, how are you? Oh, for a long time I have seen to you. So, one person started to talk, and then other person started to talk, and a lot of people talks at what same time. The sound that makes, so a lot of noise was making. So they were sharing their experience, they were talking, asking about this and those and those. So slowly this voice expanded, and with the same time their bowl and robe they are keeping in the one place. Like a lot of monks, when they come, they don't have immediate chambers to allot to them. So all the monks in the assemble the gallery, they put their bow, they put their robe, or the necessary things they do. So that was also sound it was making. So Uchchasadda, the very great voice was happening there, Mahasadda. So the huge voice was there. Atako Bhagava Ayasmantam Anandam Amantesi. So Supreme Buddha, hearing those things, Supreme Buddha asked Ananda, and Supreme Buddha said to him, Kepanete Ananda Uchchasadda Mahasadda. Ananda, what is this happening? Ananda, who is this making this dreadful sound? Who is making this huge sound? Like Kevata Manye Machavilopeti, that the people who is selling the fish in the market, So if you guys visit to the Pacific Mall, you will hear that same sound. Everyone is shouting there in the have, I think so. Everyone must have visited in Pacific Mall, and it has a huge sound. As you cannot hear the another person is talking close by when it is a rush hour. So something like this. So like in the fishermen when they are saying, "Oh, come, come, come! This is the very fresh fish. Come!" So that sound everyone is shouting. Such a sound who is making. So the Ananda Bhante explained to the Supreme Buddha, Etani Bhante in this time, Yasoja Pamukhani, Panchamattani, Bhikkhu Savating, Anupattani, Bhagavantang Dasanaya. Bhante, now, this time, the Yasoja Bhante with 500 fellow monks, they are visiting the Savatthi and they want to see the Supreme Buddha, they want to meet the Supreme Buddha. So, uh, when they are coming, when they are visiting, they are here. So the older monk who is residing in this monk and who is the newly come monk, when they are sharing the cordial talk, they are talking with each other, keeping their robe and bow. So because of that, this huge sound it is making in this moment. So Supreme Buddha said, okay, Tenananda, Mama Vachanena Te Bhikkhu Amante, Ananda, go and uh, talked with them through my voice. Or it is the Supreme Buddha is asking to do this thing. They said, Sattha Ayasmante Amante Titi. That Supreme Buddha is calling you all. So, Evam Bhante Tikho Ayasma Anando Bhagavato Patissutva Yena Te Bhikkhu Tenupa Sankami. So, Ananda Bhante, listening from the Supreme Buddha, he went to the other monks where they were staying, and to all the monks with the Yasoja Bhante, uh, he said that Supreme Buddha is calling them. The Supreme Buddha is Amanteti. That one Supreme Buddha is asking them to come here. So they all said, yes, Bhante. Yes, Reverend. Eva mahuso tiko te bhikkhu ayasmanto anandasa patisutva. So they listened to the Ananda Bhante. They heard that. And then where the Supreme Buddha was dwelling, they visited that place. After visiting Supreme Buddha, they worship the Supreme Buddha and they sat down one side. After sitting this one side, Supreme Buddha Supreme Buddha said to them, King tumme bhikkhave uchcha saddha mahasaddha kevata manye macha vilopeti. That Bandikan or Bante is, what is this that you are making this huge sound? How you are, means what are you doing this to making this great sound like this? You know? So Supreme Buddha called them in one way. In the Buddha's time, it was very simple that whoever comes, they were very silent. All the monks who visited, And this thing happened couple of times, even one time the Supreme Buddha means this in Sutta, Supreme Buddha asked them to come and see him. But couple of times, Supreme Buddha directly told to Anand Bhante that Buddha did not want to see you. Go, just leave now at this moment. So he has advised. So the couple of people from the city also, they also said to no Bhante, they are very new monk. Please keep them in your shelter. So that also happened. Some of the time, when this huge sound was making in a Migara Matat Pasada, in that time, Mughal Bante, what he did with his what it called toe, he shook the entire building, you know, just to get their attention. So whenever the new monks arrive, the sound, lot of sound has made, but Buddha was not favor with that. That okay, they should make the sound. The monk's life should be very calm, quiet, you know but it is very difficult because always there are a lot of monks, and whenever they have the conversation, it happens. It happens and even now. But after a short time of period, everything they understand, and then once they settle down, they are easy. So the Buddha also scolded or asked Yasojabante. So the Yasojabante said, Bante, these are 500 newly ordained monks, and they are wanted to worship the Supreme Buddha. So once the new monks, when they meet with the older monk, meet with the residential monk, while sharing the some of the talks, sharing their experience and keeping the bow, keeping the robe in that places, the sound has been created. So Supreme Buddha says, because now that you have worshipped me, so now you can go from here. Kachata bhikkhave panamemivo navo mama santike vattabhanti. So now you have worshipped, go away, Metikat. I dismiss you. Okay. Do not stay anymore in this presence. So once they are visited, once they worshipped, they all already means Bhante has already worshipped Yasoja Bhante. And so the Buddha says, okay, now you go and do not stay in presence at this moment, because one monk who has did these things, and so a lot of noise has created, and there is less chance that it will be. So the one of the way that Supreme Buddha advised, one of the way that the teachings the Supreme Buddha do, so was that. So listening the Supreme Buddha's Evang Bhante Tikote Bhikkhu Bhagavato Patissutva Uttayasana Bhagavantang Abhivaditva Padakhinam Katva Senasanam Sansamitva Pattachivara Tena Vajjing Tena Yena Vajjing Yena Vajji Tena Charikang Pakkaminsu. So after listening to that, they said to say, yes, Bhante, yes, Supreme Buddha, and they worship Supreme Buddha. They circle around him, like we do the circling on the, or we worship the stupa by circling one round to them. In the same way they did, and all these monks, they left for the Vajji Janapada. So the Vajji city, they left for that. Vajjisu Anupubcharikang Charamana. So in the kingdom of Vajji, they were gradually they were traveling. They were going from one city to city. What they did? Yena Vaggumuda Nadi Tenupa Sankaminsu. So they come to the close to the Vaggumuda river. The river name was Vaggumuda. So in that river, they come close to that. And Upasankamitva Vaggumudaya Nadia Tire Panna Kutiyo Karitva Vassam Upagachinsu. On the river bank of that Vaggumuda Nadi, on Vaggumuda River, with the whatever the smaller things they find with the straw and all the small wood, what they find, they make the small hearts, and they resided there for the rainy retreat. So they were thinking, yes, this 3 months of rainy retreat we will have here. So they stayed for this 3 months. Athako ayasma yasojo vasupagato bhikkhu amantesi. As soon as this monk observed the rainy retreat, Yasoja Bhante invites all the monks. What he said to them? Bhagavata mayang auso panamita atthakamena hitesina anukampena anukampang upadaya. That out of compassion, the Supreme Buddha has dismissed us. You know? So he wants what is the best for us. So that's why Supreme Buddha has said, okay, you should go away. So because Handamayang auso tatha viharang kappema yathano viharatang bhagava attamano asati. So now what we should do? We should do that we should practice the Dhamma in a way that Supreme Buddha is pleased with us, and then he will invite us. In the same way, we should practice our Dhamma practices. If today such a thing happened to us, how we will behave? How we will behave? Here, a devotee, like today, in today's case, if any devotee who offer a little bit of donation to the monastery, what is the expectation such a person has? I donated these monks to this, so they should answer my call every time. They should talk with me all the time. You know, if I will talk you later, if the Jivananda Bhante said, immediately how we will behave? Oh, the Bhante does not want to talk. You know, he is angry. Oh, I am not getting respect what I deserve. Thinking of that, how we behave, we slowly avoid to go to the monastery. And that meeting with monks, having this thought, it's not the Dhamma. These noble friends, association is only to development of our practice. With these noble friends, the development should be there. Here, the same thing happened. The Supreme Buddha, this entire dispensation is based on the teacher. He asked these monks, now you worship, go away from this place. Teacher is saying to them, okay, go away. And what these monks are thinking? That Supreme Buddha has told us out of compassion. He knows what is good for us. He knows what is best for us. With that compassion, Supreme Buddha has asked us to go away. So, what we should do? We should practice Dhamma alone, as the Buddha has explained to us earlier. We should practice Dhamma, and we should make worthy that Supreme Buddha will invite us and meet us. Such a thing. So that is the difference in between these two generations of people. The generation who were front of Supreme Buddha, or in the time period of that, and generation is today, what we see. You know, if monk today asks anything from your families or anything what they do, scold a little bit, we immediately get angry. Reason is that we have a lot of expectation throughout that. Not the expectation to realization of Dhamma, but to get reverence from the monks. The monk should say the good words to us. They should worship, they should not worship, but they should always be close to us. They should praise us, something like that. And that is not the part of Dhamma. Part of Dhamma is to make ourselves or make us to walk on the path of Dhamma. So for that, any kind of advice, any kind of discipline, if the monks is giving, we should accept it as the teaching of Supreme Buddha. Because so many times that's happened. One time, a teacher has explained a beautiful story. One monk, he was ordained uh, in the forest monastery. So this monk was residing in the forest for the couple of years, and he has developed beautiful meditation. Beautiful meditation he has developed. So his teacher said to him, "Okay, monk, you are residing in this forest monastery for a long time. I have another branch somewhere. I have another branch somewhere, and in that branch, you should go and stay there." So, because of the teacher is saying, he went there and he saw this monastery is in the center of the city. So there is a lot of traffic, a lot of people coming and going there. So who were practiced in the staying in monastery and practicing meditation, now he is unable to do that. What he did, he couple of days he stayed there, and then he packed his bag and he went back where he was staying before. So after 2 3 days, his teacher saw him again. Huh? I told you to go there. What happened? And he said, Bhante, I stayed there for a week or so, but I'm unable to do these things. So this teacher called him strongly and he said, okay, go back now and stay there as I asked you. So he went there because of reverend or teacher. He stayed there and he developed the meditation. So listening to teacher, what happened? He was able to practice meditation in only one uh, surrounding, like only isolation. He was able to practice meditation. But when the venue is changed, when the place has changed, what happened? He was unable to. But now, in the city, by listening his teacher, he developed the same thing. So his meditation is become more stronger, more stable, because he can do in any environment meditation. That is benefit. So some of the time when the monks, some of the time when our noble friends advise us, then we should accept it. We should learn that. And that was the beauty of earlier monks. That was the beauty. So we should learn from them so we can develop our practice beautifully. So this monks, eva mauso tikote bhikkhu ayasmato yasojassa pacha sosum. So they all agreed to, yes, Reverend, they said, and they accepted that. So, athakote bhikkhu Vupakatta appamatta atapino pahitatta viharanta tene vassantara vassena sabbeva tisso vijja sacha kansu. All of these monks are living alone, developing the strong virya with the diligence, with the so much resolve, by striving on the Dhamma, all of them, they develop the knowledges, three knowledges, Pubbe Nivasanusati, Asavakkaya Jnana, or maybe Parachitta Vijanati. So these three knowledge, these all monks, they realize that. So in the way, these three, Tiso Vidya Sacha Kansa, it means tainted all the 500 monks, they were enlightened now. With these three knowledge, Pubbe Nivasanusati, Parachitta Vijanati, and Asavakkaya Jnana. These three knowledges was there. In the same sutta, they were able to understand what the Buddha has developed the mind. In their mind, they were looking at the Buddha and they understand, okay, the Bhagavan Supreme Buddha is understanding that. That's why I said Parachitta Vijanati Jnana. So these three knowledges, they develop. So they are all enlightened. They are residing in the same river bank, and uh, after a couple of this rainy retreat has done, Athako Bhagava Savatyang Yatha Bhirantang Viharanti Yena Vesali Tena Charikang Pakkami. So Supreme Buddha left the Savatthi and went toward Vesali or Vaishali town. Anupubbena Charikang Charamano Yena Vesali Tada Vasare. Gradually, he is walking there, traveling by stage. Supreme Buddha has arrived to the Vesali. Tatra Sudang Bhagava Vesali and Viharati Mahavani Kutagara Salaya. So, Supreme Buddha was dwelling at the Veshalis, Mahavana, the great forest, and in the Kutagara Shala. Atako Bhagava Vaggu Mudatiya Vaggu Muda Tiriyanang Bhikkунang Chetasa Cheto Parich Manasikaritva Ayasmantang Anandang Amantesi. Supreme Buddha, uh, by his own mind, looking at the monks who is dwelling at the Vaggumuda river bank, looking at their mind, by his mind, looking at their mind, Supreme Buddha invited Ananda Bante. Okay, Bante, come. आलोक जाता विय में आनंद ऐसा दिशा ओभास jata viyame ananda esa disa yasa disaya. So, uh, a light is appeared to me on this direction. You know, uh, uh, the brightness, has arisen in this direction because the Buddha saw that is all the monks is enlightened, and where the enlightened monks dwells, the circle, it's very beautiful. you know it becomes this place becomes Ramaniya. Any monk who is dwelling in the monastery, who is practicing well meditation, and he's not doing many things, but he's practicing Dhamma in that monastery, people feel very calmness, quietness, the positivity in the temple just by practicing that. But this 500 monks was dwelling in that direction, and all of them, they attained enlightenment with this all three knowledges. So the Buddha was praising to them, okay, in this direction I see the brighter light, brightness. So Supreme Buddha says, let's go to that. Pahineya sitvang ananda. Okay, so send the monk, send the Duta that to this direction, and ask them that sattha ayasmante amantete, that Supreme Buddha is inviting, the teacher is summoned you, that sattha ayasmantanang dasana kamati. Now the teacher wants to see you. Earlier Supreme Buddha said, okay, now you see, go away. So this monk, they decided, let me do something that teacher wants to visit us. But and now, really that happened, that Supreme Buddha saw their mind with his, and he said, okay, I want to see them. So Anandabhante sent someone, uh, or Anandabhante went there himself, and then he told these monks that uh, that Supreme Buddha wanted to see you. Supreme Buddha invites you all, summons you all. So they said Anand to Anand Bhante, yes Bhante, we will visit. So as the Anand Bhante left, they were all the monks with the psychic power, with the psychic power. So maybe this will, with the psychic power, there's all the monks, they uh, like our close hand, we open, like balava puriso sambanjitang va bahang pasareya. The strong person, the closed hands is open in the same way, or open hands or the spread hands, someone fold it in the same way. This all the monks, they were immediately vanished from that place and come to the where the Supreme Buddha was dwelling. So And this all, they visited the Supreme Buddha. After keeping the robe and everything, they went to the Supreme Buddha and sat down in front of Buddha. In Supreme Buddha on that time, he was practicing meditation. In that moment, Tena Kopana Samena Bhagava Aninjena Samadhina Nisinno Oti. There is a one meditation techniques called Ananja. It is only and only by developed by enlightened monk. Other person cannot enter into this samadhi. Only enlightened monks can. So these all the monks who heard from the Bhante that yes, we want to Supreme Buddha asked you, summoned you, and he want to see you, and so these all 500 monks visited there, and they saw that Supreme Buddha is sitting there and he's practicing meditation. So, atakho tesang bhikkhung etadahosi. So, in their bhikkhu's mind, this thought arises. What? Katamenu ko bhagava viharene etarahi viharaditi. In what practice is Buddha doing right now? So, they thought that Supreme Buddha has developed uh, Anenjena ko bhagava viharena etarahi viharati. So the Supreme Buddha is dwelling in this meditation technique. So they are also, all the monks, they also developed the same meditation because they were all enlightened beings. So they did. So they all practicing the same meditation. Ananda Bhante is not enlightened one. So he did not know that, that Supreme Buddha has attained this thing. So what happened? When the first period of time, when the night was getting a little bit late, Ananda Bhante rose from his seat. He took his robe on his shoulder and he go and worship Supreme Buddha. Uttayasana ekang sang uttara sangam karitva yena bhagava tenanjalim panamitva bhagavantang etadapocha. So he worshipped and he said, Abhikanta bhante ratti nikhanto patamoyam bhante. The first watch of the night has passed. It has passed now. Bhante, Chira Nisinna Agantuka Bhikkhu. This all the monks is sitting for the long time. Bhante Bhagava Agantukehi Bhikkhuhi Patisammodatu. Bhante, please have a conversation. Please, Bhante, advise to these monks. Greet these monks. That these monks as waiting for a long time. Evang Buddhe Bhagavatunya Hosi. Supreme Buddha was silent on that time. So Anandavante was also come back to his seat and sat down. When the another time period of night watch has finished, so he rose up from his seat. He went to the Buddha and said, Bhante, Nikito Majjimoyamu. The middle watch of the night has been is finished. So Bhante, this all the monks is sitting in front of you. Please have the conversation with them. Talk with them, greet with them, advise them. So the Bhante, Supreme Buddha was also very silent on that time too. Third time, when the last when the early in the morning, the dawn was coming, in that time, Tatyampi, Nikite Pachime Yame, the last watch, the night was, when the finished, the last watch of night is done. Uddaste Arune, when the brightness of skies was happening, Nandimukya Ratya. So when the night was totally finished and the sun is rising, in that time, Ananda Bhante again said to him, Bhante, this all the monks is waiting. Chira Nisinna Agantuka Bhikkhu. This monks is sitting for a long time. Please greet them. In that moment, after that, listening to that, Atako Bhagavatama Samadhimma Uttahitva Ayasmantang Anandang Amantesi. Supreme Buddha rose from his meditation and said, Sache ko tvang ananda jane yasi, etta kampite nappati bhaseya, aham cha ananda imani cha pancha bhikkhu satani sabbeva ananjaya samadhina nisidimmati. That Ananda, if you know Anand, you wouldn't have said so much. Means if you know, because Ananda Bhante was not enlightened in that time. So he does not know that Bhante is they are in a meditative state. This all the 500 monks with me, they were sitting in the meditation Anandjeva. So so that samadhi is attended by that. So in that samadhi, they don't need to have a conversation. In the samadhi, this all the monks, they are equal of that. So Bhagavan, Supreme Buddha, on that moment said the udana, the spontaneous word said to said, Yas jito kam kantako akko socha vadhocha bandhanangcha pabbatova so thito anejo sukha dukhesu navedhiti sabhikoti. Supreme Buddha says, Yassa jito kam kantako, who has the bitten thorns of sensuality, who has plucked up, who has conquered that. Means in this calm world, the sensual world, this everything we want to enjoy and delight, these are all karma kantakata. Those are all the thorns are there. So who has bitten them? Akko socha vadhocha bandhanancha, the abuse, killing, shouting, such a thing, who has uh, what it called, so those boundaries who has broken up, because in this world, when we are living together, we have this. We have anger toward others. We have thoughts of killing towards others. We have thoughts of caging others. These are the things we do in sensual world. All the things we want to bound ourselves. So, who has get rid of those things? Who has conquered those things? Pabbato vaso thito anejo, the person who come to that stable stage, like a mountain which is unshakable, uneruptible, stable mountain that does not wave, such a person, sukha dukhe sunavedati siddhiko, the person does not tremble into the pleasure and pain, such a person is called the bhikkhu. Such a person is called the bhikkhu. So, in a simple word, Supreme Buddha has mentioned. So, who has gone further, who has crossed this all the things, who does not shake in this world, who come to the stable stage, such a person is called the bhikkhu. So all the monks has a duty to practice Dhamma to attain these things. So it is a beautiful sutta, Yasojasutta. In this sutta, Supreme Buddha has beautifully explained how the enlightened ones live. Okay, so learn this sutta, read this sutta a couple of times. Udana has a fascinating stories. Small stories are there, but beautiful. This only one stanza is enough to motivate ourselves to practice Dhamma. So learn this sutta, remember this, and practice them. So may this sutta be helpful for all of you to develop confidence on Supreme Buddha, develop confidence on Dhamma, develop the confidence on the Sangha. You may all have uh, realization of Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu.